Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder. It's not every day someone invents something that changes the game. I found out about this product that I'm talking to you about, and I had to try it. So I ordered a few, and after using it, I'm sold. Now we stock them on our trucks. It's called All Brace, and it will help you sell more service and buy you time until doors come in. There's never been a greater time for a product like this. Phil has a video on his website of him cutting a door literally in half, installing the All Brace, and running it like nothing ever happened. It is literally incredible. One of the greatest selling videos I've ever seen. You're going to want to check it out at all-brace.com. What's up, guys? This is Ryan with Torch Talk Podcast. Welcome to Tuesday, assuming that we're on time releasing this. And I hope you guys enjoyed Monday Morning Mindset yesterday. Look at me giving Greg a little plug.
I see that.
Little Greg Giaquinto in the house. I called him, what was it? Monday or Tuesday morning at like 6:30. I don't know why. I was just like, I want to call Greg. And he didn't pick up. So I literally just gave him like this hardcore, like I'm screaming, wake up, like screaming in the phone, like pump up message. And I was like, I know you're probably either at the gym or getting some nookie. So call me when you're done. So
I bet Michelle loved that.
Yeah. So I told him he needed to download that and make that his alarm in the mornings. And Michelle said no.
Yeah.
So anyway,
called that one.
Yeah. So today we've got our co-host Tamara.
Hello.
And then we have Joe, who is I don't even know, what is your position? Are you owner?
I'm not the owner. I'm the president.
Okay, president of the United. No, I'm just kidding. Of Joe Clark, president of United Door, and they have 3 locations. 2 locations.
3
locations.
You were doing really good.
I was doing really good. It's doubt that sits in that gets me usually. So 3 locations in the. What is that area considered? What is Ohio like? What is it? That's not Midwest. It's
actually like it's Midwest.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Midwest, he owns a distribution center, and I had kind of seen Joe's post on Facebook, and my first impression was this dude's pretty smart. Whether I'm right or not, we'll probably figure it out today. And then Tyler Cassidy buys from him. Tyler is the owner of Dr. Door out of it's not Columbus, Lancaster. I should know this. I'm on his website regularly. For those of you guys who don't know Tyler, he's like one of the coolest kids in the world. I call him a kid. He's not really a kid.
He's
but
super young. Yeah.
He's super young, ambitious, and he is just like, he's killing it. Like that dude's going to end up owning like a 8-figure door company one day. For sure. And so Tyler found out that I was having some troubles. He's like, bro, you got to talk to Joe. Joe's like the coolest, man. I love this guy. And I think he even told me one day, I need to get you on the podcast. And so I was like, man, that kicked off the relationship. You and I spoke, and lo and behold, we hit it off. We're very similar in the way that we think and kind of the way we approach things. We give you the soft touch first. If that doesn't work, we'll give you the hard pat, and then it's more like a punch. I feel like our strategies are very similar in that way, but we respect people who respect us, and then sometimes we got to handle our business. But also just found out you're a Marine with all the stuff in the background here in the video. So thank you for your service and protecting our country and all the sacrifice that you and your family made during that time. You said 12 years?
8
years. See, I was trying to give you a little extra credit. I can't get years right. They all blur. So give us a small introduction about who you are, how you got in the door game.
So yeah, so we do have 3 locations, and it's the Midwest is what we call it. So Cleveland is our headquartered location. That's where the owner was based out of. I'm in our Columbus location, and then we have a Pittsburgh location. So we're looking hopefully to expand here soon, and get some more locations, more down south. Apparently we like this record heat wave we're in right now, so we want to continue that. But I got started in the door industry right when I got out of the Marines. A friend of mine owned a construction company and said, you can come hang drywall for me, or I know a guy that's hiring a garage door installer. Well, I had just gotten back from my second tour in Iraq, and my response to him legit was, what's easier, drywall or garage doors? He told me garage doors were easier, and he was a liar.
I was about to say, what a liar.
What a liar. Because the first job I was on were 16 gauge sectional doors. It was a commercial company I went to work for. And I literally started out in October of 2007, riding shotgun in a truck. We'd get to a job site, I'd help unload doors, and I'd start putting hinges on, and throwing cardboard.
You were a helper, bro.
I was a helper. So I started out in this industry as a helper. I didn't come in, fresh out of college, right into the president role or a vice president role. So I started, the company was called McKee Door. They're a hugely successful commercial company here in Ohio. They were just here yesterday giving me a quote to put in some big ass fans in our warehouse to help keep our guys cool. So still have a great relationship with them.
Hunter's better.
Well, they're not big ass fans. They do Serco. They're the I'll probably get it wrong, HVLS fans. They're a big Serco dealer. So yeah, I spent time as an installer. I think I was there for 2 months. They let me go on a job by myself. I thought I was big time. I got to drive the truck to go program remotes on and set limits on some trolley operators. So here I am, big time
promotion
by myself. And then I found out I must have really sucked in the field, because they asked me if I wanted to come work in the office. So either I was really good, or I just really was just screwing too much stuff up. So I came in the office and kind of started a new position for them, doing aftermarket sales. So going to warehouses and getting people to sign up for preventative maintenance contracts. I think when I started there, they had 4 or 5 what they called preventative maintenance contracts, which ended up changing the name to planned maintenance. I think that sounds a lot better. The customer would call when their spring broke and go, well, wait a minute, I do preventative maintenance. You're supposed to prevent that. Well, you can't prevent it. So they changed it to planned maintenance. And we grew that so big that they pretty much had one guy in a truck full time. He did planned maintenance contracts all year long.
Boom. What? So we didn't plan on going in this direction, but we're gonna flag that conversation.
Yeah, I'm huge on that, and I'm huge on selling yourself. So we can talk about that here in a minute once I'm done.
Okay.
But yeah, so I moved into estimating and project management, and then Cornell was one of our. They were our largest supplier of rolling steel, and they had really pushed their architectural initiative of gaining spec positions with architects. So I went to a couple classes, and I watched our regional sales manager present, and I was there as the local rep for these architects. And I went to a regional sales manager, and I'm like, listen, you have so many of these you have to do. Why don't you just let me take this market over and start teaching these classes? So he was good with it. McKee was good with me starting another new thing for McKee to do. And we really grew the architectural design consultant position for them. And so I was going and doing lunch and learns for architects, working with architects. I mean, I still have architects here in Columbus that call me. They're like, you're still in the door business, you can still help me, right? And I'm like, yeah. So I help them, with their specs or whatever they need for their project. C.H.I had an opening for that. And I knew that I wanted to grow and work for a manufacturer. So I applied for a job at C.H.I, got hired, and spent 3 years as an architectural consultant for C.H.I. I transitioned into commercial product management at C.H.I, where I spent my last 2.5 years there. So I was working directly for the senior leadership team at C.H.I, developing new product. So anybody that likes the new redesign on the full view that C.H.I launched, that was my project. If you don't like it, I don't work there anymore, so too bad.
I only want the credit, not the blame.
Yeah, exactly. So I was, handling kind of the go-to-market strategies for C.H.I.'s commercial, which was really, 10 years ago, kind of non-existent, to where they've really grown into what I feel like is a commercial player now to compete against the Overheads and the Wayne Daltons of the world. And then I quit C.H.I. I quit in 2019, January 2019. I still live here in Columbus, so I was traveling back and forth, and my boys, I have twin boys, they were 10 years old at the time, and I realized, I've missed half their life traveling. People think that, working for the manufacturer and traveling is glamorous. You miss a lot. So I got hit up by a headhunter for a local job outside of the industry. So I decided to leave the garage door industry. I made it 6 months clean, and was bored out of my mind. Became friends.
You say it like it was a drug.
I know.
It
I was
is.
like,
You can't get out of the garage. They say once you're in the industry, you can't get out.
oh boy.
So I'm proving that theory right. I made it 6 months out. I'm back in. Jim Osborne, who owns United, him and I are really good friends. He called me, or we stayed in communication, and I just told him, I was completely bored. And so we met up for dinner a week later. And the week after that, he had an offer letter to me to be the executive vice president for him. So I came on to United in June of 2019, July 2019. It was funny. I was one of those guys, who came on, I was here for a week, and then the next week I was on vacation. So it was kind of awesome. I really liked it. And then in January of this year, he named me the president of the company. He kind of went what we call like semi-retired. He's working from home. I needed more office space in the Cleveland office to bring in some more customer service reps. And he had a huge office. So I'm like, if I can get you to work from home, I can put 2 people, which now I've got 3 people in his office. So yeah, since January, I've been the president of the company, launching, my new initiatives and my new drives, and my new strategy for United Garage Door.
Yeah. So if you have complaints about the door design that he talked about, you can email David Bangert. I think that's David at
Oh, Ryan.
CHI.com.
Oh, Ryan. They can call my old cell phone at C.H.I because it's still there and it says I'm on vacation until like January 9th or something.
Oh,
They
geez.
got rid of that cell phone number, I guess.
Pretty impressive background, dude. And it shows that you're better with your brain than you are with your hands, which is good. When I first heard about you, what I was most amazed about was all the things that you're doing for your dealers as a third-party distribution center. So it was very surprising to me. I'm in Atlanta. We have a hard time a lot of times just getting a phone call back or our orders processed with some distribution centers. So that's why we really took the focus off of trying to buy locally and trying to buy direct. And so with that, you're not just like focused on calling people back and actually processing orders. You're going like way above and beyond. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that you guys do that makes it so attractive to buy from United?
Yeah. So, one of what I want to say is our biggest competitive advantage is we kind of have the mindset here, and I'm trying to drive the mindset here that we're going to be better today than we were yesterday, and we're going to be better tomorrow than we were today. We make mistakes just like the manufacturers, but we own our mistakes, whether they're ours, whether they're the manufacturers, or whether they're our customers' mistakes. It could be a different manufacturer that we don't represent. One thing people really like about us is, when we're loading their trucks or we're loading, our delivery loads, we forget stuff just like everybody. If our dealer's out on the job site, we don't tell them, sorry, too bad, you need to pack up and come back here and get it. All of our guys are licensed to drive our trucks. We throw the parts in our trucks and we send them out, no matter how busy we are. I have a bed extender for my truck. There's times where I've taken, dealers out doing, a pan door install, and it's got dented sections. So I'll throw sections in my truck with the bed extender on 16 foot and take them out to them and bring the old sections back so they don't have to worry about disposing of them. We put our customer first. Our biggest thing is treating our customer like family. If we were out on the job site, we wouldn't want to lose money. We don't want them to lose money.
You're frustrating me, bro.
I'm sorry. We really strive on customer service. I mean, I did a customer survey last year. 70% of them came back. The reason they buy from us is the customer experience. The number 5 reason they buy from us.
Hold up. Can you just repeat that one more time? The number one reason. Okay. Please listen carefully. Distribution centers and manufacturers. This is where you stop everything you're doing and listen. Okay, go ahead.
Number one reason, 70% of them responded, the customer experience.
I feel like we need a siren. So if we can tell Pancake and
Pancake.
just enter siren, like all kinds of noise. Yeah.
And that's not to say, and I hate to kind of say it that way. That's not to say we're perfect, because no means are we perfect.
But you're trying.
We are trying to make things right.
What is that like?
It's challenging. It's fun though. I mean, it's fun to see somebody like Tyler at Dr. Door go from purchasing X amount from us the first year I'm here to where he's at today, to see him grow his business and be able to support his family and his hobbies and what he wants to do.
Such a hustler too, bro.
Yeah, he's a hustler.
That kid is a hustler.
Guy's always beat me up on something.
I wish I could take credit because we do his marketing, but I honestly believe he could probably do what he's doing without marketing. He's just a hustler. He's going to get it.
So that's another thing, the marketing effort we throw behind our dealers. And I don't even really like to call them dealers. We call them partners. So you're on my email list that I send out. I never listed as United Garage Door dealer. You're a partner. We're in this together. Whether you like me or not, we're partners in this. So it's kind of like I'm part of your family. You're stuck with me. You can't get rid of me. But we throw marketing money at our dealers. We don't grow if they don't grow. We have dealers that, Tyler wrapping his truck. He just got his truck done. We help our dealers pay for that. If they put our manufacturer's logos that we represent, we help them pay for that. Billboard, website.
You don't want to answer this. It's okay. You don't have to. But as a third-party distribution, just the way like different industries handle this very differently. Like in automotive, I mean, you're pretty much like an OEM manufacturer, or you're like a used car lot. But OEM manufacturers will give you like kickback for co-op and stuff like that. It's the same.
We get co-op.
You guys get co-op, and then you sell doors to dealers, or as you call them, partners.
Yep.
So are you using the co-op dollars that you earn to give back to your dealers?
Absolutely, because we're not set up to sell to the public, nor do we want to sell to the public. So of course, we have the shirts we wear, like you can see mine. You can't probably read the United on my shirt because it's kind of discreet and hidden. But like our dealers want shirts with their logos on it. We pay for it for them. We help them. We use the co-op money to help them grow their business.
Love that.
Can you just repeat that one more time, please? What do you use the co-op dollars for?
To help them grow their business. And we really see it as, the more they grow, their loyalty grows to us.
Yeah,
Crazy how that works, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Like-
What a concept.
My goal, and I learned it from, when I worked at C.H.I, I got to travel all over the country as an architectural consultant. I didn't have a region, I had the whole country. So I got to spend a ton of time with, at that time, I think they had like 15 regional sales managers, and I could spend time with all of them. So I got to see the good and bad things that they all did. And one, I got to give him a shout out that I learned a ton from was Tommy Parker, who was down in the Texas region. Tommy now works for Tech Store. But every time he went to visit customers, it was like they were friends. He wasn't just a regional sales manager. And that's kind of how I want to, I want my customer or my partner to feel bad when they go over the Clopay distribution center. They feel
Right. Yeah. I do the same with my employees. Like I want to, if they get a job offer, I want them to feel guilty. Like, man, if I take this, I'm like, I could be losing the best opportunity of my life.
Right.
Or like they feel like they're cheating on me. And the only way you do that is take care of people and you treat them right.
Right. No, and for our employees, I'm really driving, everybody in the United States, I think, is driving culture behind their company. And I'm really pushing, the culture here at United. Last year, we developed a mission and vision statement. We never really had one. We kind of had our vision, or our mission was delivering excellence. So what does that mean? So we actually put some wording behind it, and it wasn't me, and it wasn't Jim putting the wording, the owner. We weren't putting the wording behind it. We took all of our managers off site for 2 days, and we sat down, and I think it was cold when we did it. It's because we had the fireplace on at this cabin, and we're like, listen, we're not leaving here until this shit's done. And we came up with a good vision and a good mission. And then we came out with our 5 core values that are going to help drive our company. And now, I've hired a marketing person for us. She works part-time. I've known her since I was born. Our parents were friends. And she's really helping drive the culture. I got signs now made with our 5 core values, and they're up in every warehouse. I have an example. Are people going to see this, or do people just listen to this?
It's both. People listen and watch it.
So I don't know if they can see. Well, it's going to be backwards.
Nope, I can see it.
No, we can see it.
Okay. So like there's
Going backwards in selfie mode, I think, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it must be in selfie mode or something. I don't know how to work technology, but each core value sign has a quote with it. Like family, it says people will forget what you said and what you did, but not how you made them feel. Being reliable. Why do we have time to do it right the second time when we didn't have right to do it, or we didn't have the time to do it right the first time? Of course, the employees see it. Loyalty has a picture of a dog on it, which I kind of didn't like, because I'm like, I'm hoping people don't look at this and say, oh, they're going to treat me like a dog. And of course, all the employees are like, we can't wait to like graffiti these signs and like beware of dog or something on there. And I'm like, go figure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we treat every employee. We really, really try, and it's really cliche to say treat them like family, but we really do. I'm short-staffed today here in our Columbus office. One of our assistant manager, he's also a pastor. 2 people already had vacation scheduled in the office. He had a pastor's meeting in Indianapolis that he really, really wanted to go to, and I'm like, go ahead and go. We'll figure it out. Well, then one of our newer people, her name's Tony, her daughter was kind of impromptu going to get married tomorrow. And she brought it up to me. She's like, I know this is probably a no, but my daughter's going to get married. And I'm like, listen, if I have to put people on hold, I got to put people on hold, but you can't miss your daughter's wedding. Then the response,
hopefully it only happens once.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They pushed it back. So she's here. But just the response of, you don't just say that, we're family, you really treat it like family.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I just want to say real quick, like I have a reputation, I think, with some manufacturers that I I have like a negative view of them, which is not necessarily true. I think where my frustration comes in is I feel like we can do better. And I don't like, maybe I don't see the effort. And then, you know, I'm basing this off of like experiences. I do not leverage my platform in the industry with my vendors. I feel like that's a hard no. Um, I think it's a misuse. I may have used it once recently with a company that may have already been brought up in this conversation, but here's what, like, this is the type of stuff that I feel like, I mean, what you're doing is transforming the industry, whether you like it or not. And that's why I wanted to get the message out, because this is like, I really wish that more distribution centers, if manufacturing use third party distribution centers, they would embrace this type of thing. You were telling me how you guys are building a new location and you've got like offices that you're creating that are going to just be empty offices specifically for door guys to be able to work out of when, you know, maybe they're too far away from their office or they're coming long distances and they need to do some follow up or whatever. Right. That was you, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we take possession in September, I'm hoping. My lease is in October, but I'm hoping, I know the tenant's moving out in August. It'll be empty September 1st. I'm hoping the landlord will let me in a month early to start some demo, but it's actually connected. So we're just taking the suite next to us here in Columbus. We moved in here and it was like one of those have you ever bought a mattress online?
Mm-mm.
I have.
Okay. Yeah. How do they ship that to you? Like in a box and then you open it up and everything just flies out?
Yeah, it's like vacuum sealed in a bag and it's rolled up. So it's vacuum sealed and rolled up and then in a box.
I bought a topper. Yeah. It was the same.
So yeah, that was kind of like we moved from our old facility here to our new facility here. And it was like the mattress that comes in the box and we open it.
When you open it, it goes kapow.
Yeah, and it was like, shit, the space was not big enough. So started early. I signed the lease a year ahead of time to take on another 7,000 square feet. Well, it's got a really nice office. So kind of, I learned a long time ago in business that there's no such thing as plagiarism. So
steal it, bro.
Yeah, I stole from you.
You didn't steal from me.
Oh yeah, I did.
What did you steal from me?
Your garage door design center.
Oh.
How everything's going to be, or everything is white, like kind of like Apple.
Oh yeah, simplistic.
So I'm demoing. There's 6 offices in there. I'm demoing 3 of them. All the walls are painted white. We're going to paint the trim white.
Dude, I feel so honored.
There's a cabinet in there with like a base cabinet with a sink. So painting the countertop black or putting just a black granite countertop, white cabinet, coffee maker, and we're going to build a showroom for our dealers to use.
Nice.
A lot of these guys that buy from us and girls, they work from home. They don't have a showroom. They're not the national companies, like Precision or whatever, that have the mobile showrooms. So when somebody asks them to see, an accent door, they have the hand sample. Well, a hand sample really doesn't sell the accent product. So if they had a showroom to be able to show that, they could probably up their sales. And then I'm keeping 3 of the offices that they can come in and, sign out to use. And again, the other cliche word is to work on their business instead of working in their business. But I really want to
preach that in GDU. Tamara's like, oh my God, this is my thing. I got this. She can take over and do the rest of the podcast now.
It's challenging. I've challenged myself to do it. I challenged myself to do 1 day a week of working on the business and not working in the business. It's hard. I have customers that call me. I had one right before here texting about slide blocks on many warehouse doors. And I take care of them. I made sure I got an email off before this started. So hopefully by the time this is over, I closed my email so I didn't have interruptions, but hopefully I have an answer that, TrackRight's going to send him his stuff. But yeah, I want to have office space for our guys to use in a professional space, not, a Rubbermaid 6-foot table with a surge protector sitting on it. I want it to look nice. A lot of people in our industry, follow Tommy Mello with the stuff that he does. And, one of his speakers that he's had at his events is Aaron Gaynor, who owns Eco Plumbers here in Central Ohio. Aaron and I have been friends since I was in middle school. My best friend dated his sister. So I was always over at Aaron's house, and I've known him forever. So him and I communicate a lot. He started Eco Plumber University, which is teaching people the plumbing trade. Believe it or not, our industry is old. It's a lot of old people. And what happens when they all decide we're done? We're retiring. So my goal is for next year to start UGD University. So I have a guy here that's a really good installer. I'm going to get him Master Tech certified. We're paying for it, train the trainer certified. And I want to start UGD University to get people interested in the trades, to work with the trade schools here in Central Ohio, the carpentry classes, to have the kids come here and learn about garage doors. Maybe we get a couple of them interested. Of course, I'm thinking further down the road that, hey, United Garage Door taught me how to install doors. I'm going to buy my doors from them when I start my own company. So, or just to get people in this trade. You don't have to go to college to do garage doors. You don't have to go to college to run a business. I'm gonna attest to that. I went to.
You didn't even have to graduate high school.
Yeah,
I'm a high school dropout, bro.
I did know that. I remember you saying that on something.
Consistency in everything, including price, reliability, quality, not just quality, but great quality control. These are things that describe Somer USA. Somer's not some startup company, not one that you need to be worried about going out of business in the near future. Somer and their family of businesses are $200 million companies. They're in over 100 countries, and they have locations in 20 countries. This is a large organization who stands behind their product and works through integrity. And there's not another company out there willing to drop what they're doing and help you out like Somer. These guys are awesome. Not only have they been loyal to the Torsion Talk podcast, they've been loyal to the technicians and the owners of the companies who install their product. In my opinion, if you're not at least offering Somer as an additional option, you're cheating yourself. Listen, first-time dealers, I've got a special for you. If you buy 10 or more Somers between now and the end of the season 6, while supplies last, we will offer you free shipping. You have no more excuses. The prices are great. The product is amazing. Go check out Somer USA and order 10 for free shipping. I'm going to tell you guys a marketing secret. You want to gain more social media likes, shares, and follows? People love unique and cool projects. There are no better photos to share than the ones on C.H.I Doors social accounts. These guys post some incredible things. Make sure to go there and like and share their Facebook and Instagram post with your business account. So if you like their business account, you can share their post. The bifold doors are awesome, and they're doing some great projects that will go viral on social media if you share them. Go right now to C.H.I Door on Facebook and check out some of the projects they share and like their page. Oh, and don't forget, no one builds a better bifold than C.H.I.
I'm trying to forward think on how we can help this industry grow.
You're in no way affiliated or like trying to run for a board on IDA or like an affiliate, right?
No, I thought about it after this last IDA show. But then I heard like this region just had an election or whatever. I guess that. So it's like whatever, I don't know how long they're in.
You should start ADI,
What is that?
Association Dealers International. I'm just kidding. No, like I seriously thought
Oh,
about
you
it at
just like
one
to
point.
stir the pot.
Yeah, no, I seriously thought about it at one point, but like the amount of drama and like politics that are involved in that, I just don't want to be a part. But I really wish we had like we could I mean, it's really tough because when you have a nonprofit, there's certain structure that you have to go through. You have to have a board and you got to vote on stuff. So that like there's things that take time and then not everybody agrees and you're deadlocks. And so getting things done are very challenging.
Yep.
And so I'm not bashing anybody. I think it's collectively just a broken process. And so, you know, there's digitally, I won't get into it, but digitally ways we could get around that, which I've already mapped out and actually created.
I mean,
environment
one
for
thing
it.
I think that, you know, that I saw when I worked for C.H.I. Is like CODA, the California overhead door. Then they got the New England one too. And those
Yep.
are like the only two like regional door associations. They're like to be an Ohio, Michigan one. I guess it just went defunct or whatever. And it must have been before my time. But I think more regional stuff rather than having, you know, have the IDA. I'm not saying get rid of the IDA in any way, but you know, start more regional things. I think that needs to happen.
Well, they have affiliates, which is what PDA and I think WASA is. Is it WASA?
What's PDA? Public display of affection, or
Professional Door Association. And it's New England. Is it New England? New England
Yep.
PDA. But it's an affiliate of IDA. So you can start an affiliate, and then they'll even help fund it, which is pretty cool. And so I haven't checked into it recently. It wouldn't work in Atlanta. I think there would probably be a small amount of dealers that would contribute, but this market, there's like so much hating.
So that's why I'm surprised you saw anything I posted on, because I rarely post on the garage door stuff because it's just hate on there on each other, and it's crazy.
Yeah. So when we talk about the future of the door industry, we have to take in consideration one of the biggest moves that's happened in a long time, and that's Nucor bought C.H.I, which, in my opinion, when it comes to doors, from A to Z, I think there's really two manufacturers, in my opinion, that really set themselves apart when it comes to like the appearance. And Clopay and C.H.I, in my opinion, have done a phenomenal job of building beautiful doors. Clopay with the gallery, they really set themselves apart. I think with the arched windows being cut out, the larger sections or the bigger windows, the stamp is beautiful, the whole bit. You got the Canyon Ridge, just absolutely gorgeous doors and well played, right? Like I think they did a good job. And then C.H.I with the Accent series really changed the game. You know, just install. I probably installed that cedar plank door is a hot door in Atlanta, and we sell a lot of them. Just installed another one yesterday. We have one in our showroom. The Sterling, we've installed quite a few of those. We love them. You know, people love that frameless glass look. So obviously they got bought out with a lot of money, and you have experience, used to work there. So I'm not saying that you have any inside, you know, whatever, but where do you see this going? How do you see this affecting C.H.I and our market as a whole?
It's obviously, I mean, I don't even think the ink was dry from C.H.I announcing, you know, they're being purchased by Nucor, and Clopay sent out their letter like, hey, we might be selling. So I think it was definitely, the $3.3 billion price tag was shocking. I think it was shocking when KKR purchased C.H.I. at 619 million. Everybody was shocked at that. So the 3.3 billion, I think, people probably fell out of their chairs at these different manufacturers. To me, I was super excited. One, not that I dislike private equity, because private equity has their space, whatever, to be in here. But C.H.I. has been owned by private equity for 20 plus years. And everybody, knows how private equity works. And now they have a long-term owner, and a long-term owner that, manufactures the biggest part of what a garage door is, and that's steel. I think it's I see Nucor maybe, and this is just me speculating, but how many metal building companies does Nucor own? Like 30. Do you think they're going to just do one garage door company, or are they going to do multiple? I think they go multiple. And own the whole, downstream process. I don't think we'll see C.H.I. running out of steel anytime soon.
Yeah, for sure. So real quick, just because not a lot of people in the garage door industry understand like private equity and like having someone who invests in a company like Nucor. First of all, Nucor is widely known internationally for the way that they treat their employees. Great company culture, great leadership, well-ran company, from my understanding, extremely profitable. And so you have a company that has that mindset coming into the garage door industry, which is kind of the mindset that you have, Joe, is take care of my people. Let's run the business right. Let's, all that. So that's awesome. Right. And then at private equity companies, in my experience, because I dealt with a lot of those in software, they are buying as an investment, typically with the idea that they can make it more profitable and flip it in like 1 to 5 years, usually 3 to 5. And so what normally happens, they have these private equity companies have a lot of data analysts. They've got a lot of like accountants, and they come in and they find the quickest, fastest way to create a couple extra points of bottom line margin. And so a lot of times that's cutting. And when you trade hands 3 or 4 times over a 10 or 15 year period, there's only so much cutting you can do. And so all the fat has been trimmed. Even you're getting probably a little bit down into the bone, I think, before they ended up selling to Nucor. And so it was probably pretty profitable, but we all saw the struggles that they were going through. And I think a lot of that had to do with all the cuts and things that were probably being made, forced down from the top through the private equity. That's my suggestion. Not speaking for Joe. I know he has relationships there, so I don't want to cause any issues. This is just my speculation. And so now that Nucor, if Nucor does their business like they do in other areas, they're probably going to watch or kind of like start integrating things for the next 6 months. And then you're probably going to see a hefty investment into C.H.I. And what that looks like is totally unknown, but I'd love to get your opinion of what that could look like if they start investing, because they got the money.
Mm-hmm.
They come out with new lines. Do they create more innovation? Do they work on machines that produce garage doors faster and with less damage? Do they find better ways of distribution to get product to us? Like, what do you think they do? Because Nucor is widely known as one of the most innovative steel companies in the world.
Yeah, I think Nucor just brought on last year they brought on a coating line to be able to coat the steel that they make, so they don't have to ship it off to get coated and slit and sent to manufacturers, whatever they're making, washers, dryers, garage doors. So I see, C.H.I. opened up their Terre Haute plant last year, and they're making other OEM sections out of the Terre Haute plant. One, uh, where CHI is located, there's just no more labor. You can't get any more people. So they found another area that's relatively close, and started this other plant. So I see Nucor maybe investing there and ramping up, to be able to make multiple products, not just the OEM sections, but multiple products out of there. The product management team was 3 of us at one point when I was at C.H.I, and I think it's down to 1. And he's kind of, doing it all by himself. So hopefully
That's really fun.
Yeah. I feel bad for him. I text him every once in a while. We're still good friends. So we stay in contact.
Health check, mental health check.
Yeah.
Still with us, bro.
So, and he's rotating his time between, the C.H.I plant where he lives, near the Arthur area. And then he's going to Terre Haute where they have the OEM, and then they're manufacturing the Performax high speed, high performance doors. So he's, being pulled in all those different directions. So I hope to see an investment in the product management team to help really drive new product initiatives, retire some products that don't need to be here anymore, like green doors. Who buys green doors anymore? I shouldn't say that because we actually sell a few green doors a year.
We've sold I think 4.
Yeah, I might have sold 6. So,
but we could probably do away with them and just have them painted afterwards.
One of my customers, if they hear me say get rid of green doors, I think they bought all 6 of them, so they'll probably call me. That's like, jerk. We want green. So yeah, get rid of some of the old product in this industry. Let's get some new product. Garage doors, we were like the Ford motor company. You could get a white raised panel door, and if you got really crazy, you could get a white raised panel door. And now, we say garage doors are sexy. The cedar plank door. Did you put black window frames?
I don't know if we did or not, but yeah, we have that as an option when we sell it.
That door it's sick.
I know.
With the black window frames, tinted windows, that thing it's sweet. And people are becoming more, as our dealers become more educated in this industry, homeowners or consumers are becoming more educated. So they're passing up on the white raised panel door and going for, a cedar plank door or a C.H.I shoreline door. I don't want to give Clopay any plugs, sorry. Or a Sterling door. I was there when C.H.I launched that, and that door it's just badass. Super expensive, but badass.
It's nice. I don't think it's expensive.
I do.
If you're gonna transform your home, yeah, we did the black frames. It looks like, but like
you had to look it up.
Mid-century modern houses. look at that, dude. Windows.
Yeah,
that looks
sweet.
So good.
Yeah. So we have a lot of mid-century modern houses here, but expensive is relative. If you have a house and you want like a freaking frameless glass unique door that nobody else has, is it worth 25 grand? Probably.
Yeah.
If you want a white short panel raised door, is it worth 2,500? Probably not. Because it is crap door, because it's like
it's worth 2,500 though. It's worth 2,500.
I hate them, bro. I wish
I don't care.
Standard door was like long panel. Let's just make the standard door long panel. Why does long panel have to be a special order and short panel be the standard?
It's not special order with me. I have long panel in stock.
See, Joe, that's why I like you, man. But listen, before this announcement, probably about, I don't remember how long ago it was, 4 months ago, 3-4 months ago, I had an investment company reach out to me. They were being very discreet, but they wanted to ask me a bunch of questions about the door industry because of the podcast, and they had found me online, and they were like, oh, and then like in the conversation, they were like, so my company's interested in potentially acquiring Clopay, and are you a Clopay dealer? And so we got talking about Clopay. They had a bunch of questions about Clopay. I'm really curious if Nucor was in conversation with Clopay and C.H.I at the exact same time, and then decided to buy C.H.I And I think that if I'm Clopay, am I making that announcement like I did when the ink dried, because I knew that they made that decision so quickly? And am I making that decision because I'm about to lose market share to an innovative company who's going to be able to either increase margins or reduce their prices and produce doors quicker, faster, which Clopay's kind of struggled with the last year, and C.H.I was like horrible, and they've gotten dramatically better. So the tides have shifted. And do you think that Clopay is concerned that with Nucor and C.H.I, they're going to lose a lot of market share?
Yeah, I do. I think also Clopay shareholders are probably concerned with, holy shit, look at the return on investment. Let's unload this and get a big return on ours. Thing, but you like private equity or not, you like KKR or not, or if you're a conspiracy theorist and think KKR is whatever. Pete Stavros, who runs the industrials portfolio, I've met Pete. The ownership works program. I mean, we all see the payouts these employees are getting at C.H.I. Clopay sells, their truck drivers ain't getting, $100,000. First year employees aren't getting $20,000.
Well, they're a publicly traded company. It's ran very different.
Yeah.
The goal is not to make the employees rich. The goal is to make the shareholders rich.
Exactly. So I think shareholders saw that 3.3 billion and was like, holy shit, what's wrong here? Why are we bleeding every year? So,
but Clopay's been for sale. They just made a public announcement.
Well, we think they've been for sale. I get all those emails too. The market research companies that pay you to do the hour-long phone call. Rarely do I take them. I did take one, a couple weeks ago, and it was actually on the Nucor acquisition and KKR selling. I was an owner at C.H.I. When I left, I had to sell my ownership. So, when they were announced they sold and, what employees were getting paid, I went through all
did the calculation to see how much money you just missed out on.
Yeah. And I'm like, 3 years, if I could have made it 3 more years. So, I went through, I went through all stages of depression in 24 hours.
Dude, the same thing happened to me, bro, when that company sold for 65 million.
I guess I'll put it out there. I drink a lot of Michelob Ultra that weekend. I found out that I can drink a lot of that shit and it doesn't give me a headache. So, yeah, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I don't want to digress to that. One thing that I want to see Nucor, and I want to see all manufacturers in our space, is to put quality control engineers in these factories.
Yes. Thank you.
I love
and I think they need to be at the dock some to see the process of the trucks loading, the handling, all of that, not just when they come off the assembly line. I think they need to learn and understand and train and teach and find ways to load trucks better, because some of the stuff we see when these trucks open up their doors is like, holy cow.
I mean, and to give another shameless plug, I don't want to make this, we're only C.H.I. We sell Haas. And, Haas has had their problems with, lead times. But when it comes to quality, very, very rarely do I ever have a Haas quality problem.
What do you think that they do different?
I don't know if it's the cardboard, the edge protection they put on. One, I think it's culture. I think their employees care. I think, I'll talk about, C.H.I. and
McManus is going to love this.
I think culture kind of shifted at C.H.I. when KKR bought them, just to be honest. I think culture shifted at all these. I mean, look at Wayne Dalton. Wayne Dalton was the pinnacle door at one point. Whether you like the 9100 and you think it's a piece of shit or not, it was a good door built by quality people. Overhead bottom, Sanwa took over, and you got a culture shift. And Wayne Dalton's taken 9 months to get a replacement section out. They can't get people to come work there. So I do think it's culture. I mean, Haas, they're a smaller regional player that grew and grew way too quick, I think, and that's caused some of their lead time issues, but their quality, second to none. I mean, out of all the doors that we buy, again, maybe 1 out of 100 has damage.
Wow. That's crazy. Do you store doors vertically or horizontally?
So single wides, we store vertically, stand up on the wall.
Mhm.
Pan doors up to 16s, we store vertically on the wall.
Mhm.
The rest we have on rolling carts,
I was
horizontal.
just curious.
Yeah,
There's this big debate on which one's better, so I like to ask people who might have good input, which is very
I mean, I'd probably find a different way to store them if I had space, but I don't have space. So I need them put on these carts. So when the fire marshal comes, I can push all the carts over and say, yeah, we do have a clear egress path.
We don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
Fire marshal's not going to be watching this.
No, hope not.
Plus, you're a Marine, so if you can't talk your way out of that one,
I sweet talked him last time. I didn't even get an email follow up on things that I needed to fix. So
Oh,
I saw him walking up to the door, so I locked it real quick and let him sit there for a minute.
That's love.
But yeah, I think quality control. Our industry really needs to get on quality control. And the other thing is, I think installers and business owners need to kind of suck it up and put their big boy pants on and fix doors that are damaged. If it's something that's simple to fix, an edge dent, a rubber mat by 4, you can fix that and not, ask for the warranty section.
Even we got to get better at that, but I do believe some education on that would be good.
Yeah.
Some how-to videos and things like that. I don't know if they're already out there or not, but I used to have an installer who was actually really good at that, but we don't, that's probably one of the issues we have now is I just saw a door the other day that we installed that had, just that little part on the corner. And, I know my old installer would have probably just banged that out, and you'd still tell just a little bit, but hardly.
You had to be looking for it.
Yeah. And this
guys need to carry touch-up paint on their trucks. Doors are going to get scratched. They're metal.
Yeah.
I mean, how many of their trucks are perfect and not scratched?
Right.
So carry some touch-up paint. Have your helper, if you have a helper, go distract the homeowner while you do some touch-up paint.
Go long. All right. So I wanted to bring Joe on the podcast because, one, I love his thought process. I love how he holds himself to a high standard and those around him. I loved all the things I heard about him. I'm now a customer of his, and he's just willing to think outside the box, which is kind of rare in our industry. And I'm super grateful, Joe, for everything you've done for me to date. And you helped me find a way to figure out some problems, and your willingness to participate in that, and go to bat for me, and maybe even burn some bridges for me. I don't even know, but I appreciate you for that. And I can tell why you're so successful and why you've raised the, from, cleaning toilets or whatever you were doing in the beginning of the door industry.
I was putting hinges on.
Yeah, same thing. No, I'm just kidding. All the way to now running a distribution center with 3 locations that is, very successful. Your focus is in the right place. You're doing the right thing. And I genuinely wish, this gives you a platform where people will reach out to you at other distribution centers and try to learn from you so that they can implement the things that you're doing across the country. Because honestly, these door guys, they deserve it. Like, they deserve what you're giving. They deserve customer service. They deserve the fact that the people that they're buying for are grateful for their business. And you show that by doing the things that you're doing. And, it's just not like that everywhere. And so I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you and thank you for everything you're doing for your dealers. It means a lot. And so keep up the good work.
Thanks. I appreciate the friendship that we've made, you know, in our 12 phone calls. You called, you know, 6 phone calls ago. I was having a pretty bad day, and you were able to say, like, dude, what's wrong? Like, you understood that. You could hear it in my voice that I was not having such a great time. Normally I have a good time at work. It can always be, I use the analogy, it can always be worse. Somebody could be shooting at us or trying to blow us up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they're garage doors. So,
Life's too short.
Yep.
Life's too short. Just enjoy it. I mean, there's days that's easier to enjoy than others, but
Yeah. So, well, thanks for having me on here.
yeah, bro. Probably won't be the last time. I'll
I
probably
think you were
have
wrapping it up there.
Say what?
I think you were wrapping it up there.
Yeah, I'm wrapping it up. It's been an hour. I think our audience loves being on here for 2 or 3 hours, but we're gonna try and cut it short. And honestly, dude, I genuinely feel like we'll probably have you back on for another episode in the near future. So
Awesome.
thanks for everything.
I made the cut.
You made the cut. Boom. Tamara, thanks. I'm going on vacation. I leave Saturday. I'm super pumped about that. So I'll be at the beach, and hope you guys stay safe. Stay cool out there because it is hot. It's on fire. So stay hydrated. And as I tell my guys, if you're looking for your screwdriver and it's in your back pocket, it may be time to take a break. So have a wonderful day. Be blessed. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Tamara.
Thank you.
Y'all have a blessed day.